And we are live from, well, they call it the 2300 Arena, but I'm old school, man. I grew up coming here. We're live from the ECW Arena, the birthplace of Extreme. What better place to announce some of our Knucklemania 5 Philadelphia card? What better place, I'll tell you what, than here. I mean, everything has happened here. So much history here. More history being made today. We're going to go through all that. And I know Brooke and Brandon's in the booth, and we have some guests coming up. And Brandon, I don't know if you can even fire this off yet, because today's going to be a crazy show. There's not even a rundown. It's whoever comes up to sit here, whatever we talk about, it's live on the scene. But Brandon, I don't know if you know, but I was kind of a big deal here. Yeah, I wrestled here. Matter of fact, they have a big mural here with ECW on it, and they had you go in and sign it if you've wrestled here. So I think we have video somewhere that was sent of of me signing this mural, and then we'll show that. It's great to be here. You know, this place used to be just like train tracks, and they paved over them. It didn't even have an address when it first got here. Very famous in the South Philly area. Sure, more and more people are going to be coming in ahead of this Knucklemania 5 press conference. Let's show them what I was talking about. There's a mural here to talk about what used to happen here, which was ECW. There it is. The years it ran here. It's beautiful. As we come in on it, zoom in on it, you'll see that everyone signed it, from the Dudley Boys, I think Raven, Sabu, all these big names, the Sandman, and there he is, Brian Soscia. See my name there? Right there. Hey, do you know where that's at, Brandon, where that mural's at?
It's in the toilet.
It's in the bathroom at the arena, because I'm the shit, brother. We're happy to be here. You know, I see her in my peripheral vision. You like that, Evan?
Yeah, that's great.
I see her in my peripheral vision. I don't know what she's doing here. I didn't even know she'd be here, but I want to bring her up. The Killer Bee in the house, Taylor Starling. Come on up, Taylor. Look at that. She looks beautiful. I should rise, I feel like. Brady the pervert would rise. Why not me?
Hi.
How are you?
What's going on, guys?
Oh, man.
Do I need these headphones?
You put them. I don't want to mess up your beautiful hair. I mean, she got her hair done in Jersey.
Jersey hair, guys.
Like that's a serious place to get your hair done. I heard that earlier. They were talking about that. I don't know why you're here. I didn't even realize you were fighting on Knucklemania 5. I don't know who your opponent is. I know nothing about this. So I'm going to ask you, what are you doing here?
I mean, I just got to say, you know, you can't talk about Knucklemania without bringing up the queen of Knucklemania, the meme-worthy Killer Bee. I'm here in the house, and I think, you know, I haven't fought on Knucklemania again since it's happened, and I think this time we need Killer Bee on Knucklemania. That's what the people want.
Wow, since it's that was Knucklemania 1 when you had that fight. We'll talk about that in a couple minutes, but I think it's awesome that, so we know this. We know that I guess you're going to fight on the card. You're confirming that now, right? We just don't know who your opponent is.
100%. We don't know who it is yet.
Yes, you do.
I mean, I've had a little inclination of like who it might be.
You gonna make
I know who I want to fight. I know who it might be. So we'll see what Boss Man picks for me.
All right, we'll find out the press conference. That's coming up around 2 o'clock. You can tune in for that. A lot of great announcements here today. And, you know, I think it's cool that you're the first woman that we've announced on Knucklemania 5, and to me, this is one of the biggest shows, if not the biggest show in the history of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. It is definitely the biggest fighting event in Philadelphia history, and you're here, the first woman. That says a lot about what the company thinks about you. That's got to feel good.
Oh man, it's amazing. I consider myself the face of women's bare knuckle. I know a lot of people are going to get pissed off with me saying that, but you know, I know how to talk the talk and walk the walk, and I like to put asses in seats, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to sell out the Wells Fargo Arena, and I get to bring my Killer Bee charm and show Philly, you know, what it's all about.
I think Philly's going to love you, and they're a tough town. Wells Fargo Center definitely going to be sold out. Tickets are flying. We haven't even done the press conference yet. This is what a homecoming it's been so far. Now, we talked about at the top of the interview, there's a guy that writes in. I didn't see the mailbag today. I don't know if he wrote it. His name's Randy the Pervert, and he seems to really love you.
Yeah.
He loves you. He loves Pittman, but he seems to focus on you a lot. I know you watch the show. I don't know what we should do here. First of all, what are your thoughts on Randy the Pervert?
I think he's subscribed to my OnlyFans, and he's like a top. He's a top customer. So you know, I really thank Randy the Pervert. He's awesome. He's always given us beautiful ladies some shout outs, and you know, I wore this low cut top today just in case he tuned in.
Wow. Yeah, okay. Randy's probably happy. Randy's definitely, he's going to be like freezing this or talking about this a lot next week, I'm sure. He'll be like...
With the boss in attendance, David Feldman.
What is this? Oh, you're doing the whoa. They're doing the whoa sound effect about Randy. So I don't want to go too much with Randy, but I noticed that he is in love with you, and as well as other women on the card. On the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. So I guess just look directly at the camera and deliver a message. We said some fights, but deliver it to Randy. What do you have to say to him?
Randy, I'm so sorry I have to break your heart, but I am now a spoken for woman.
What?
I am engaged, and you know, I'm sorry. You know, you waited around too long, Randy, and someone came in and stole the thunder.
Yeah, Randy, just keep paying, though. Keep paying for the OnlyFans.
Yeah, but keep paying. Keep paying.
Randy, I want to talk about that. Not Randy, you're Taylor. It'd be very creepy if Randy was next to me. Congratulations on your recent engagement to Nick Vespi. I'm very, very proud, happy to know you guys and watch that develop. and we wish you a lot of luck. That's awesome.
Man, thank you. It's the best. So
and I know he's
happy.
very supportive in your fighting career. And what about your kids? I mean, you have two wonderful kids. Are they excited about this Knuckle Mania? How do they feel about you fighting? Do they get scared? Are they happy? What do they feel?
They kind of are. They don't really understand like why it happens so often, and they're kind of getting into the swing of things. They are the most supportive. They have my posters in their rooms. They have my trading cards. They have my shirts. They don't care about what I'm doing as long as at the end of the day I'm coming home and being mom. My oldest, I'm actually performing with him on Saturday.
What are you doing?
I'm going to be playing the flute. And he's going to be playing piano for this Christmas spectacular thing in our small little town. So we're really looking forward to that and then kicking off camp. So
wait a minute. Let's rewind. I'm sorry you're talking about your children, but you said flute. I don't want to make I don't want to make the joke that Randy would make. I'm not going to make that joke. Everyone knows the flute joke. But you play the flute. I didn't know that about you. How long have you been playing the flute?
I played in middle school, and then I just took it back up probably about a year ago.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh, you pretty good at it?
Ask Nick Vespi.
I was going to say that. Damn it.
Wow, Randy is going to go nuts for this show. So, so your son is playing, he's tickling the ivories, he's playing the piano. Not very easy to do. I think it's really cool bonding that you're doing that. I think that's awesome. I didn't know that about you. Now, the other thing I want to do while we have a couple minutes with you here is I want to look back. I want to look back at Knuckle Mania 1. You had a fight that it caught the world on fire. It was one of, if not the most talked about fight. It opened the card against Shariza Sagala. And you're going to remember, it escapes me, the number of punches thrown was insane. Do you remember what it was?
It was 500 something? 500
It was
something?
insane. First of all, let's kind of go back for the newer fans or the people that don't know. How did we find you? Where did Taylor the Killer Bee come from?
As in, like, how did Bare Knuckle find
where
me?
did you find, where did your tryouts? What happened?
Paige Van Zant was the talk of the town. She was coming to Bare Knuckle, and I really wanted to do it, so I was trying to talk to anybody that I could to get into Bare Knuckle, and I had messaged Nate Shook, Britton Hart. Actually, Britton really is one of the people who
You guys are buddies, you and Britton.
gave me a push to get into Bare Knuckle. And Nate Shook said, hey, listen, I have this opportunity for you. It's versus Teresa Sagala. It's on this date. You either take it or you never fight for the organization like ever again.
Nate's got such a way with words, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. What a people person he is.
Well, I think that he's obviously a great matchmaker. He put you in a great fight, and it got talked about by everybody. So a lot of respect to Nate for that and bringing Shariza and Taylor to us. Because that fight, I mean, it was incredible. But before that fight, when you took that fight, when you said yes to Nate Shook, what were your coaches saying? Were they like, oh, yeah, let's do bare knuckle? Or like, I don't know about this one.
I was kind of in a transition of gyms at the time, and the gym that I was at, they were like, you're absolutely insane, and there's no way that we're going to govern you doing a bare knuckle fight. And then I had went over to Modern Warrior where Keith Richardson and everybody's at, and they were like, fuck yeah, let's do it. Let's go fight bare knuckle. And it just... It's crazy. I pinch myself every day because at that moment, you know, I was someone, I didn't believe in myself. I didn't really know what I was
You didn't
gonna
believe in
do.
yourself?
No.
Of all people, I feel like you're so strong-willed. I feel like you put that out to people on camera. I mean, that's obviously changed, right? Or you just
Definitely changed.
Why didn't you believe in yourself?
You know, at the time, I was coming off of a loss streak in boxing, and I was just kind of down on myself. I was at this point in my career where I was like, you know, it's either I take this opportunity or I hang it up. And right before I actually walked out to Teresa, I had told everybody, if I lose this fight, I don't think I'm ever going to fight again. And here we are. That fight changed my life.
Sure did.
Changed my life.
So let's talk about that fight. You know, you're preparing for it. Were there any reservations as you're preparing for it? Like, I don't know if I really want to do bare knuckle. Were you sure as hell when you went out there, this is it? Like, you have to be, right?
Yeah, I definitely was sure as hell. I'm crazy. I just wanted to fight. But when I was on the stairs to walk out, I was like, what am I doing? And I'm about to go out here and fight bare knuckle in front of all these people. And it was just one of those things, fuck it, let's go.
So I was that, because when you're walking out, you probably the best dance number I've ever seen on the way to a fight. Was that nerves, or were you just having fun? Because you dance anyway. You've had fun when you go to fight. I've noticed that.
Yeah, it's my nerves. Like, when I dance like that, I know I'm not good at dancing. I suck at dancing. I have no rhythm. It's unseasoned chicken when I'm dancing. And it's just like, I just have to do that to get my nerves out. If I don't, I would probably explode.
So as you're ready to go out, before that walk, during the walk, what's going through your mind? You said it's nerves, it's bad dancing, but what are you thinking? Like, these people think I'm a horrible dancer? Or are you thinking like I'm going to? What are you
I
thinking?
don't care about that. No, I don't care what people think about me when it comes to that. It's more of like, I'm like, all right. The funniest thing I do probably before a fight is I count down the minutes. Like, I'm like, okay, 30 minutes until I fight. 20 minutes until I fight.
Count
like hours. Like the day of, I'm like, all right, 6 hours. I'll be fighting and it'll be over. I mean, it's a 10-minute moment in time that happens so fast, so I'm really trying to soak everything in beforehand.
So when you watch a fight, you're just watching as a fan, and then you're in the fight. Do you feel it goes so much faster when you're in there, actually performing? Is it one of those things where it's super fast when you look back on it, but when you're in it, you're like, oh, it's a grind?
Yeah, I think watching it makes it, that definitely makes it go faster. Being in there feels like a fucking hour, like sometimes. Yeah. Like when I fought Britain in Sturgis, I think it was the 3rd or 4th round, I was like, damn, when's this gonna end? Like it's just not, and then once it was over, you're like, oh, it's amnesia. You're like, dang, I just fought and it's over, and all these months and hours and time put into this is all gone in a second.
Yeah, what is that like? I mean, the come down from that, you're all charged up, headed in, you're charged up during the fight, you've given it all, your adrenaline's probably still kind of there after the fight.
Yeah.
And then is it the next day when you're like, oh my God, I'm starting to feel a little bit now? How's that process?
One of the biggest things I heard before I took big fights was that like you get depressed after a fight. I mean, I might be the only one, but right after a fight, you know, you sacrifice so much in your life and you make so much change that when it ends, it's kind of like sad. You get this huge attention buildup, this huge adrenaline buildup, and then it's dumped. And then usually about like 2 weeks after, I'm in my blues, I'm in my feels, because it's like the attention's kind of off of you, and you know.
But you're not a person that we often see in your blues or feels. I feel like you're one of the people that when you come to a fight, I'm looking forward to see this.
I cry in the shower. That's where it happens. Nobody's gonna see it.
Can't see the tears, right? They mix with the
Yeah.
water, kind of thing. But I feel like I'm excited to see your build up to any fight you're in, because when I see you at the arena, when I see you at events like this, especially when the fight gets closer, I'm envisioning you at Wells Fargo Center in backstage area before the fight when I see you in the building when everyone else, you know, you're first getting in and you have headphones on and you're dancing. You and I think Pittman's the other one. You two are like the most excited people to get into a fight I've ever met in my life.
You have to. You gotta be like that, or you're just gonna succumb. Like it's like I don't get the bad energy. You know, it's exciting. You get to put on a show for fans, and you get to take that moment to just like really be front and center in front of everybody. So why not just soak it all in?
So when you were putting on that show at Knuckle Mania 1, I can't believe we're heading into Knuckle Mania 5. It blows my mind. What was going through your mind there? Like Tony Soto has said, and you know Tony well, he has said in his mind when he's fighting a lot of times, like, don't be a bitch, don't be a bitch. Do you have anything like that, or what was happening in that fight in your mind? Were you just trying to survive it kind of thing?
I'm always like, I have this weird, like, I disassociate. I'm like, I separate Taylor and Killer B so much that sometimes I have to literally be like, I am this person, and this is me. I kind of go through this thing like, you are that bitch, and you're going in there, and you're going to fight. And it's hard for me to believe sometimes because I separate it so hard. But I got to flip the switch. As soon as I walk out, that's when the switch is flipped, and it's like, all right, I'm on.
It's like you get that game face. And you talk about being, not me, you said it, that bitch.
That bitch.
You want to be that. How did you're recently engaged. We talked about the top of the interview. And normally, I feel like I talked to Nathan Rivera. He was engaged. I said to him, I think it was last week, I said, how did her parents kind of react to the fact that she's marrying a bare knuckle fighter? And it's not a bad thing, it's just different. They're not used to it.
Yeah.
It's strange. So now you're getting married. On the other, you're the female, which is completely different for people. You're obviously, and I'm very happily married, and you're soon to be, you're very beautiful, you're a head turner. So he brings Taylor Starling home to introduce her to his parents. Do they know you're a fighter right away? How did that all go?
Yeah, they knew that I was a fighter before they met me, and kind of like knew, they've seen it, they've seen me fight, they've seen things, so they kind of knew what to expect. I think it's fun to really, they know a lot about fighting through Nick, but I love getting to share that with them, and they get to really see the real side of things and hear the discussions that go on, and they're so supportive. Like me fighting at Wells Fargo, they already bought their tickets, they're ready to be there and cheer me on.
That's awesome. That's so interesting to me, because I feel like if my son, when he gets older, brings a woman home that's a bare knuckle fighter, I'm going to say, Nick, keep her away from me. She'll beat my ass. And we know that. We know that you will. You spoke earlier about me giving you a bare knuckle punch. I will not do that. You're a female, and you could kick my ass.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you a bare knuckle punch.
I'm talking bucked up. Can I like, I've been asking this whole entire time if I could crack this thing open.
You kept asking for a bare knuckle punch, and I'm like, I'm not going to hit you. Why don't you tell me what you want and crack it open?
You guys, let's go.
You're going to be all energetic.
Go. You guys bucked up. This bare knuckle flavor seriously is the best. I'm not just saying that because I fight for bare knuckle and I work with bucked up. This shit is so good.
You know, Randy would have hoped that exploded because you're wearing a white T-shirt. I'm just telling you, that's the I just got from Randy the pervert. He just sent it to me.
I love it. Yeah, you guys seriously get the bucked up. You probably missed their Black Friday sale, but
it's all right.
Shit's good.
Their prices are always good though. We were talking about Knuckle Mania 1. And the thing I remember about that fight, and I like revisiting this, especially headed to Knuckle Mania 5, I think we need to pay attention to the history that we're making as an organization. What was that like after the fight as far as, I think you or Shariza, somebody told me that you were getting hit up by like athletes, celebrities. Everyone watched that fight. I think Tyson Fury hit you up or Shariza up?
Tyson Fury posted me on his story, and I'm gonna sound like such a piece of shit, but I didn't know who Tyson Fury was. And I like had to do my research. I'm so jaded by like pro fighters and big names. So, and then once I looked into it, I'm like, oh, holy shit. I actually got Shaq's phone number and like got a lot of praise from Shaq.
You won't give out Shaq's phone number live on the show, will you?
No,
Come
but
on.
I'm trying to get him to come back. So Shaq, if you watch this, if this gets you in any way, shape, or form, you gotta come back to Knucklemania in Philly, man. Yeah.
I'm sure. Look, it's going to be a who's who. That's the thing about Knucklemania, especially being here in Philly. I anticipate a lot of celebrities showing up. Philly-based celebrities. We're getting requests from all over the world, essentially, of people that want to be here. And now that you're on it, you know, who knows? People remember you for that Knucklemania 1 fight, everything else you've done. Who knows who's going to request
you? You know who I would really want there more than anything?
Who?
Nick's going to kill me, but I know that Anthony Kiedis is a Red Hot Chili, like the Red Hot Chili Peppers lead singer, is a huge fan of fighting, and he has not ever been to a bare knuckle event. So that's one person that needs to come see bare knuckle. The Red Hot Chili Peppers love fighting. They need to be there.
Californication, baby. Under the Bridge. You know what Under the Bridge is about? Do you know what that song's about?
Heroin.
Yeah, you know that, but they play
I know
that
everything about them.
Listen, oh yeah, you're a big fan, but the thing is, when I used to work in radio, we'd play that like it was a rock song, but it ended up being like a poppy song that it crossed over a little bit. So we're playing it, and all these people are jamming out and singing along. Like, this song's about shooting heroin under a bridge. Nobody realizes that.
You know, but that's like Hotel California and like songs like that.
You can never. Is that a Halloween song?
Hotel California?
Yeah.
No, it's about drugs.
Thank you. I worked at a radio station. The guy kept playing on Halloween, saying it was a Halloween song because you can stay, but you can never leave. I'm like, what are you talking about? You're on drugs.
You know, it's like art. It's in the eye of the beholder, the listener. It can be whatever you want.
Let's talk about art. You have art over your body. Everywhere I can see, you're completely covered in art. A lot of very colorful art. And how many tattoos do you think you have, Taylor?
Over 80.
Over 80?
I'm pretty sure like 90% of my body is covered at this point. I'm trying to keep one leg open. I have a tattoo appointment tomorrow.
You don't get one here in Philly?
I got one like 2 days ago. I would love to. I haven't gotten anything done in Philly yet.
Oh, you have a tattoo. What are you going to get done tomorrow?
Crybaby. I'm getting Crybaby tattooed.
Where at?
I'm not sure yet.
Oh, that means you can't tell me where, probably.
No, I'm not sure yet. It's hard because I have so much work done that, like, I mean, obviously I have this arm open, but I kind of try to keep some gaps, but I want one that says Crybaby, and it's because I am a big, sensitive crybaby.
What? So you you don't like getting hit, but you do bare knuckle. You're gonna get hit at some point. You like getting tattoos. Do you have a thing for pain? Like, do you enjoy it or something in a weird way?
I think so. I think it's like a lot of like deep-rooted trauma from when I was a child and like trying to find different outlets of
Seriously,
like,
you really feel that way?
Yeah, deep-rooted. Yeah.
Wow.
I definitely think so. It's like a therapy. But now, like, I can say now that I'm like happy. Getting tattoos aren't as fun when you're like mentally.
Well, let's talk about that. You're mentally sound. That's good. We want you to be mentally sound, Taylor. You know, when I met you, I thought you were a little nuts, but I always thought you were great. You've always been wonderful to me. I always say you carry a great vibe. It comes to the TV screen, but as far as mentally sound, that's a thing that everybody wants to be, right?
Yeah.
And you're jokingly saying getting tattoos aren't as fun when you're mentally sound.
Yeah.
So is there a concern that you don't have, and I've heard fighters say this, not everyone agrees, but you had a certain anger about you, now you're happy. Are you going to fight better when you're happy, or do you need that little bit of anger, a little bit of chip?
I feel like I have fought better since I've been happy. Like when I fought Britain, I had never been more happy in my entire life, and it really showed. I was just happy to be there, you know. I could say when I fought Christine, for instance, I wasn't happy and I wasn't in a good place, and that really showed. So, you know, I think being happier is good. I definitely still have like a little bit of that crazy aggressiveness in me. I mean, I don't think that there really is a mentally stable fighter, to be honest, without a couple of screws loose.
Bro, there's not sis, bro. Listen to me.
Bro, I'll call you bro
we're in
back.
Philly. You got to say cuz. They all say cuz. What's
or
up,
like
cuz?
pass the John.
Yeah, you're
John.
learning all the terminology
Nick's
here.
been teaching me.
Yeah, you got it. So I mean, I don't think there's a mentally stable broadcaster either. We're all a little nuts. We are, dude. I know I am. So let's before we let you go and find out who you're fighting around 2 o'clock, we're going to get to that for the press conference. There'll be an announcement. Taylor Killer B. Starling is fighting somebody. She won't tell us who, which I understand because she'll get in trouble for that. That stage right behind us, when Cyrus Feast takes the stage, man, we're going to start doing the press conference. It's going to be a big moment. We can't wait to see who you're going to fight. But
absolutely. Before
you get out of here, here's your last questions. These are just
this is like rapid fire.
Yeah, here you go. You ready?
All right, I'm ready.
What's your go-to guilty pleasure song?
Guilty pleasure song. We kind of talked about this. Like, I love Biggie Smalls. Give Me the Loot. That's my favorite song.
Oh.
That's not a guilty song. Like,
Wait,
guilty song.
Hold on, stop. You know that song?
Yeah.
Do you know it by heart? We can't say it. We'll be thrown off the air. But
yeah.
Oh, dude, give me the baby rings, then the number one mob pendant. I'm slamming I can't say, like Shaquille. Shit is real.
I'm Robin Steele. When it's time to eat a meal, I'm
gotta-
Robin Steele.
Because Mom Dukes ain't giving me shit. Pull out the bread and butter. I leave people in the gutter. I'll stop here because I'm going to get in trouble.
From the Beretta, putting all the holes in your sweater,
Look,
the money getter. Yeah.
I obviously can't rap. You probably do it better than me, but I can't say a lot of stuff he said, so let's move on from that.
Yeah.
What's your guilty pleasure?
But guilty pleasure song, I would have to say it's like something super embarrassing, like Selena Gomez or like.
Hey, I met her. She's really nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Like Selena Gomez or like I really will listen to like RuPaul's like really cheesy
Work,
stuff.
cover girl, work it, yeah, RuPaul. Hey, do the boys in the booth know who RuPaul even is? Do you guys know RuPaul?
Is that the drag queen guy?
Yes, the
Yeah.
most famous drag queen of.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, in the
history.
90s, he was like, I don't know, what I call drag queen, I don't know.
RuPaul, I think you're gonna get me in trouble. I
That's
think
why I'm
RuPaul-
not
Don't
saying
say that anymore.
He's
Is drag queen
They-
okay?
RuPaul was huge in like the
RuPaul.
90s. We'll just keep. I think RuPaul had like a movie too. All right, if you let's see had a lifetime supply of anything, what would it be?
Escargot,
Wait, is that like a perfume, or do you mean like the actual food?
snails, like.
So you
snails.
like to eat snails?
I love it.
My
I would want
father
them
loves
just
that.
like prepared at all times, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's.
Escargot.
I could have
syrup?
gave like a
Escargot-
really generic answer, but
That's random.
actually, I'd want a lifetime supply. Of bucked up bare knuckle fight.
A lifetime supply of knockouts in your bare knuckle
Yeah.
fights. There you go. What's the worst date you've been on? Oh.
I can tell you the best dates I've been on.
Oh, look at! I feel like birdies are chirping. You have a ray of sunshine around
Any
you.
date that was before Nick Vespi was the worst date.
Oh, look at that, Vespi. Look at that. It's. Oh, there he is. There's Nick. What do you think of that beard? You like that beard's that tickle you when he kisses you and
Oh,
stuff.
I love it.
Oh,
He's
do
such
you?
a man. He's such a man.
He's like the brawny man. He's like the brawny man.
He's a handsome boy.
A handsome boy. There you go. There you go, Nick. How about like weird pet peeves? It doesn't like an example. I'm strange. I don't like if I get in the shower and the toilet seats. I'll get out and shut it. It has to be down. Like, or if I'm driving in a car, I can't have it on 13, and I'm not even superstitious. The radio. Do you have anything weird like that?
I have like weird habits. I wouldn't say my generic pet peeve is I hate laziness. I can't stand when people are lazy and like drag their feet or like just don't get shit done. But I have weird things like if I don't like somebody, I won't look them in the eyes. So I'm like looking you in the eyes
I'm
right
nervous.
now.
You have not looked at Broken Brandon once. I've noticed. Broken Brandon. She has not made eye contact with you. Do you not like him? He's a scumbag.
He's looking at me right now and I like I
He's
can't.
gazing at you. Like, Evan too. Make eye contact with him.
Yeah, no.
Whoa! I thought you guys were cool.
And then I have this weird
She
thing
said
about
no.
putting lids on things. Mine's more like bad habits, not pet peeves. Not a lot of things like really. I don't like being late. Being late will like throw me into a.
Okay.
But like I have a bad habit of like not leaving lids on things or closing lids, so they're just always like half open.
I'll leave you with this then. That just reminded me. Like when you eat a tube of Pringles, you're in shape. You probably don't eat junk like that. But when I used to eat them more, it's a flavor seal. You rip off. I never rip the whole thing off. I always I kind of rip it off and leave it on with the lid. People think that's really weird, but I think it makes it fresh.
Oh, if I just medicine, none of my medicine like has the lids on. I'm constantly knocking it all over and making a mess. So yeah, I'm really weird about that. Eye contact. If I don't like you, I won't look at you in your eyes. So
She turned
you
from
guys know
Brandon.
that.
She
That's
turned
a
from
fun
Brandon
fact.
again. She turned from Brandon again when she said that. Poor Brandon. They are saying in the chat before I let you go, everyone's very excited about your engagement, and they say that, look at Nick, that's my man, little Ben says. Let's. Oh, here's one. It says, that beard is hiding his blushing. So listen, it's been a huge year for you. It's going to get bigger into the new year. You have the wedding on the horizon. You have Knucklemania 5, the first one we're announcing on the card, against who we don't know. Tune in at 2 o'clock. I'm just happy that Taylor Killer B. Starling took the time to come see me today.
Hey guys, tune in 2 o'clock. Big news. I hope. I might just be up there just to really hype up the show, but you guys will know soon if you don't know today. So tune
There
in
you
at
go.
2 o'clock.
I'm just excited to see Taylor Starling here at the ECW Arena, the 2300 Arena.
Let's
Taylor,
go.
high five. Killer B, good vibe, always bringing it to you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
I'm
I'll
taking this bucked up with me.
Take it, please. Your hair looks wonderful. Usually there's headphone hair when you take it off. It looks great.
Let
No,
me
I'm
take
serious. My hair's going to go terrible when I take this off.
Taking out the microphone.
All right, don't trip over my bags. They can't see. Look at, she looks beautiful. Show the outfit off. Look, do the turn. Look at the tattoos, the outfit. Work, cover girl, work it, yeah. All right, well, there goes Taylor Killer B. Starling. Next up, he's going to be fighting on the card again. I don't know who he's fighting against because we're going to find that at 2 o'clock right behind me on the press conference. Zed Montanez. Come on up, Zed. Hop up here, man. It's so nice. I'm going to stand up. It's an honor. Nice to meet you. Please sit down, make yourself comfortable, put the headphones on. It's a colorful jacket.
Appreciate it.
Thank God this isn't in black and white. You can show it off. HD. I love it.
How you do this right here?
Hey, just put them on like that. Our producers are supposed to be, I don't know what they're doing. That's Broken Brandon. You'll get to know him. He screws a lot of stuff up. Taylor hates him. So, What do you think? Before we even start, here, sit up, scooch up a little bit. Get up to that mic. You got to talk into the mic right there. Okay, first off, see that guy right there with the white headphones? See him?
Yeah.
Doesn't he look like a dirtbag? Do you think he's a problem on the show?
Nah, I don't know him. I can't judge him. I don't know him. They look cool, everybody in this.
He's too nice because he's new here. Once he gets to know us, he'll be ripping on everybody.
Oh, man.
I'm excited you're here, man. Zed Montanez, being a Philly guy, I've heard about you. I've heard about a lot of the Philly guys in the card. We ran a huge crowd here at the arena. Were you part of that?
Oh, yeah, I was here.
I thought I saw you. I thought I remember talking to you.
The jumper.
I thought that was you.
Yeah.
I thought that was you. I thought that was you when you walked up. You got to wear the jumper again.
Yeah.
But you were amazing to watch the crowd. So I'm very excited you're on this show. And one of the things that I keep thinking about the local guys that are on the show, it's almost like a Rocky chance for you guys. I'd imagine this is going to be the biggest fight of your life.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. You know, it's different. You know, like a different set of rules. But you know, I'm prepared. I'm prepared for whatever comes.
I know you are. Wells Fargo Center going to be huge, going to be rocking, going to be sold out.
Yes,
and
sir.
the thing is, like, this isn't normal. Like, what's your background?
Boxing background. I have MMA fights as well too. MMA.
I thought you mentioned boxing and MMA when I met you before.
Yeah.
But as I said to Taylor a couple minutes ago, I love bare knuckle fighting championship, but it's not a normal career. It's not even like being a boxer isn't the most normal career or MMA fighter,
Right.
but bare knuckle's a whole nother level.
Right. It's raw.
Yeah, so why? What made you want to try this out?
You know, it's a great opportunity and circumstances too, and you know, it's a good opportunity for my family to build on. And without no risk, there's no reward. So I won't find out if this shit is meant for me if I don't do it. So I have the heart to do it. I feel like I have the ability to do it. And growing up, you know, I fought a lot of times for free, and I'm getting paid to fight. So in front of my
Paid,
crowd,
fought
so,
for free. Now that's the
yeah.
best, right? You get paid to do it. And
Hell
you stay
yeah.
out of jail too.
Hell yeah.
They say,
Yeah,
here's money and you get to fight. Do it.
it's a lawless game.
Right?
Yep.
What do you feel? You've done boxing. You've done the gloves. Big gloves. You've done the MMA smaller gloves. Now you're coming bare knuckle. And look, all due respect, you can say you fought in the streets growing up. A lot of people say that. I understand that.
It's different.
But have you ever, in the setting of an arena, all the chaos going on, you only have 10 minutes total for the whole fight, you know that going in, getting cracked with a bare knuckle, is that different for you than in the street, do you feel, when you're younger?
I mean, yes, it's different because you're actually in there with somebody that know how to fight as well. You know what I mean? But got hit with shin bones and elbows too, so I don't really think it's a big difference. You know what I mean? And shit hurts no matter what. Elbow, shin, knuckles.
I mean, that's the thing. People want to say about bare knuckle being, they think, I think on the surface, it seems like it's more dangerous than it is. You got MMA, you're getting a shin kick to the side of the head, you know, a knee to the face.
Right.
So you felt that. That's definitely, I mean, your knee's one big knuckle.
Right.
You know, if you think about it, like a
Yeah.
gigantic knuckle.
Right.
So you think you're prepared to get in here and do bare knuckle. Have you changed your training at all?
Kind
to,
of.
right?
I kind of like have like the same regiment, but after training, you know, we do a little bit of different things like conditioning the knuckles and things like that. But really nothing has really changed besides, you know, boxing, head movement, and just conditioning my hands, you know, to...
And how are you doing that? And people do it all different ways. There's crazy ways, there's semi-normal ways, there's proven ways. How are you doing it?
Well, I mean, I'm figuring the shit out. I don't really have, like, you know, knuckle push-ups, punching on shit, you know what I mean?
Punching on shit,
yeah,
just
bro,
hit
you
stuff.
know, trying to get my hands strong, bro, and trying to prepare to not be surprised when I'm in there when anything.
Let me see your knuckles. Oh, yeah. Oh, you're not going to wear the rings when you fight. They're nice.
Nah.
I can see they're toughed up. So the thing, you know, as a fighter, and what I learned, I've never done boxing. I did professional wrestling, completely different.
Yeah.
But the thing I learned when I got here is when you're doing the punch, these don't even matter. Lorenzo Hunt showed me that. These are what matter. These are just going to break on you. Is there anything you've learned? Like, I know Lorenzo, like, are you going there looking for a knockout? Or are you going there looking, like, what are you looking for when you go in there?
I mean, I really don't know. I like to stay calm and collective, but, you know, I guess when I'm in there, it will kind of show, you know. A lot of people can say this, that, and the game plan go right out the window.
does
so
happen a lot, yeah.
I kind of got to be in there to feel the moment, you know, feel the pressure, and go from there.
The thing I always hear, again, I've never done a bare knuckle fight, but interviewing everybody is just touch them. Just
Right.
touch them. Like you just kind of boom,
Right,
boom, boom,
right.
split the eyebrow, make them bleed a little bit, make them taste their own blood, and then just keep kind of going from there. What about this starting as you toe the line? I'm going to ask a lot of you guys that have never done this before. You're starting 3 feet away. We've seen record-breaking knockouts that way. Is that something you like or something you really have to get used to, starting that close?
I mean, yeah, it's different because in MMA, you know, you corner to corner.
Yep.
So, you know, you kind of come out and kind of like get to fill it out, or even like, you know, break out and find your distance, but you're right there. So I guess in those couple of seconds when they say go, fight, whatever, is, you know.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's go time.
Where are you from? You're from Philly, or you're outside?
I'm from North Philly, bro. I was born and raised.
So
Yeah.
hold on, wait a minute. Yeah, I know because I'm from this area.
Yeah.
When he says North Philly, if you're not from Philadelphia, North Philly is a place that I guarantee you're tough growing up there. West Philly,
no,
North Philly, you got tough people
bro.
there. And then South Philly, you got the tough Italians, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
But so North Philly your whole life. Wow. So is North Philly all pumped up? You're going to be on the card?
For sure.
We're talking about it?
You know, like, yeah, as soon as we had tickets, you know, tickets started selling and it's still selling. So, you know, anybody that's watching that supports me, I have tickets out. So, yeah,
buy
for
'em
sure.
up.
Yeah.
So what about as far as growing up in North Philly, you find fighting, I guess. How old were you when you found fighting?
I mean, I feel like everyone has a fight in them. You know what I mean? I've been fighting my whole life, you know. But as far as organized fighting, you know, I got into amateur boxing at 14. And then I got into MMA at 18, which that was a big transition too. People was telling me, what the fuck you doing, bro? It's a totally different game. And yeah, you know, I took the risk to do that, and now I'm jumping right back and doing bare knuckles.
You seem to me like a guy that does not want to be comfortable. You know, maybe does not comfortable. But I feel that being comfortable, you went from boxing to MMA. Now you always want a new challenge. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I always try to, you know, take risks, bro.
What struggles in North Philadelphia growing up did you face? Like, do you remember a moment as a child, like a turning point, like I gotta get through this? Is there anything like? Because there's a lot of stories about North Philly. There's a lot of violence.
I mean, yeah, but you know, growing up, you kind of like immune to that. You know, you kind of used to it, so you don't really like. As you get older, I feel like the real struggle. I have a family now, you know, bills and shit. So
that is a struggle.
Yeah, that shit is the more of a struggle than anything. So growing up, it was more fun, like, you know, than anything.
Because you don't know anything different.
Exactly, you're oblivious to everything.
So you have a family, you have children?
I have a 2-year-old daughter and I have a 10-year-old son.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
It's different having a daughter than a son.
For sure.
Like, the love's the same. I say it all the time, but it's a different kind. I never thought I grew up with all guys, so all boys, never had girls like that, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, my daughter is actually tough. My son is more, you know, on the soft side, but my daughter, she's tough. She always want to fight. I think you might be seeing her up here soon.
Hey, man, we're always looking for the female division. Taylor Starling, maybe she's fighting your daughter. I don't know. She wouldn't tell us who she's fighting. But I'm glad that you're here. Zed Montanez is going to be fighting on Knuckle Mania 5 at the Wells Fargo Center, Philadelphia. It's going to be amazing. And again, to me, the local guys, and you're wearing the Rocky colors and the bare knuckle colors there too.
Yes, sir.
So I feel like this is a Rocky shot for you to get yourself in front of the whole world and then capitalize. And I wish you the best of luck.
I appreciate that, man. I wish you the best of everything.
Thanks for coming on, man. And we'll see you at the press conference, man.
For sure.
Keep an eye out for this guy, Zed Montanez.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you. I love it. I love the style. I love the color. I love being here at the 2300 Arena. It's also known as the ECW Arena. And here's the thing. If you're local and you're watching this, get down here. It's open to the public. We're going to have a huge press conference. It starts around 2 o'clock. Eddie Alvarez is going to be here. We're going to have Jeremy Stevens here. I know Taylor Starling's going to be here.
Got Johnny Garbarino.
I see Johnny Garbarino. He's somewhere. Hey, look at that guy. I don't like how you dress because you look better than me.
I'm sorry.
No, you look great. Sit down, Johnny, please. Johnny Garbarino, man. I've been waiting to talk to you. I'm glad you're here, man.
Pleasure.
Sure. I don't want to mess your. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Put
How's the hair look?
Your hair looks amazing. It flows.
Thank
It's
you.
wavy.
I shined it. I buffed it out before. I knew I was coming on the show, so.
It's wavy hair. It's wavy.
There you go.
Wave goodbye. You look great, man. I like your
Thank
suit.
you. Thank you
Who's
so much.
outfitting you? I mean, you look great.
I go to Italy one time every year for about a month. I go see family and friends, and whenever I'm over there, I go see a couple tailors, and they hook
Best
me
place
up.
to do it. I got a
Really,
beautiful
really
pair
sharp.
of Italian loafers, handmade, when I went to Italy. Where'd you go? Where do you
I go all over. I was in Body. I went to Roma. I got a really good leather guy in Rome. If anybody
I'll
needs
let
him,
you
his
know.
name's Massimo.
Seriously.
Unbelievable. Check these shoes out. I don't know if
Oh,
you
they
can
can't see them. They're beautiful. I don't know if they can.
These are
they
ostrich.
can't-
Yeah.
They're ostrich.
Proud of them.
They are nice, man. We'll look at them before you go. So it's great to have you here on the show. I love the hat. You got the Frank Sinatra look going. We're in Philly. You're a Philly guy, right?
Yeah.
So whereabouts in Philly?
I actually live on 13th and Packer.
I thought so. I thought
Couple
you were.
blocks from here.
Yeah, I thought you were pretty close. You know, everybody from the neighborhood is going to be coming to this fight, Wells Fargo Center.
Yep.
Pretty exciting, right?
Looking forward to it.
So what's the vibe like in the streets when you're telling people you're fighting bare knuckle? Because, I mean, as I just said to Zed, who was on here, it's not boxing, it's not MMA, it's something that's well known. It's getting more and more known, but it's newer to people. And when they hear it, they're like, bare knuckle? Are you crazy? Is that kind of what you're getting?
everybody in the neighborhood that knows me well enough that I've been street fighting a long time.
Yeah.
It's not a street fight. There's going to be some skilled guys in here. I got a good opponent in front of me. I'm still going to have to put them down and get prepared for this fight like any other one.
Yeah.
You know, I think I got 18 or 19 fights total in MMA, boxing, amateurs, and a ton of street fights.
What did you enjoy better, though? I mean, well, street fighting, and that just because
I didn't really enjoy that.
No,
We did
you
that
have to
'cause
do
we
it.
had to, you know.
But as far as boxing or MMA, what was your?
I'll be honest. I love MMA because you're not limited to the tools you could, hit somebody with. Right? It's a real fight in that aspect. This to me is more of a real fight than any of them because there's no gloves. So you've really got to pick your shots. You got to understand hitting with the knuckles in certain areas to get a cut, get the fight finished. In order to get a knockout, you're going to have to hit him in equilibrium over here, maybe right on the button. It's just a little different, and you could break your hand. That's the
You got to be careful.
main
We were
thing.
talking about that in the last interview. Yeah.
So I'm getting prepared a little bit different for this fight. I'm conditioning the knuckles.
How are you doing that? Do you mind telling me? I'm curious. Everyone does it differently.
Squeezing sand,
Okay.
almost like stress ball
Yeah.
type stuff. A lot of grip work. Hangs on a bar with a 80-pound vest. We'll do like bear crawls on our hands, get the ligaments ready. A lot of twisting, a lot of stuff like that.
Wow.
When it goes to hitting the bag or mitts, we try to condition them with. What's up, Cody? I'm sorry, buddy.
Hey, Cody.
He was looking at him. That's my boy.
It's we'll bring him on in a little bit.
Yeah.
Cody will be coming on.
So anyway, when we hit the pads, I got really, really small mitts, or we're just going bare knuckle.
Okay.
Essentially, you know what I mean? When we hit them, and I had a lot of knuckle push-ups. They're painful. They're the most painful.
Well, this is what I'm going to ask you. Some people get off on this kind of stuff. They love the training, love the prep of this. Is it something that you're like, oh, shit, I got to do this, but I'm going to do it for the fight? Or is it like you kind of get off on it, like you test yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing this out of love of the sport, okay? I'm obviously doing it for a little bit of money, and I think it builds up the whole entire career as a fighter. A lot of people looking forward to it. I think, I don't know. As far as like just throwing punches and not having gloves, it just gives me a rush.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Gives the fans a rush, too.
Defense is different. You got to be on your P's and Q's. I think I'm meant for this because I have a lot of head movement, and I got a hard head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm blessed to say I haven't been cut in 19 fights.
Really?
I got very,
Is that why
very
your
good
face is
defense.
so...
Yeah, very
I
pretty.
noticed that when you came... I don't want to say handsome, we'll say.
Yeah.
I noticed that when you came up for a guy
Yeah.
that's done boxing MMA. I thought that. I'm glad you said that.
I try to pick my shots. I have a good system in defense. Me and Cody actually trained together for about 10 years now.
And if you don't know, he's talking about, I believe, Cody Russell over there. He'll be coming on in a couple minutes. We'll talk to him as well. He's another guy that I can't wait to speak with. And, you mentioned that boxing, MMA, I was guessing which one you enjoyed more.
Mm-hmm.
But what I find is that when boxers come here sometimes, it takes a minute to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
MMA guys seem to get it a little quicker.
It's more raw.
Exactly.
It's not as pretty. This is just fighting. It's
Yeah.
getting it in.
Is that something you had to kind of you just know because you know, or you had to kind of accept that and think about it first? Like, okay, this is different. This is not boxing.
I try not to overthink too much. I try to dissect fighters when I watch their film or when I get in there. I don't rush. I pick my shots. I have a true system when it comes to striking. I try to never be on the line. Let's say everybody knows what that means, or creating their angles or whatever like that. But I just accept it. I accept the fate. I pray to God. I accept whatever happens to me. You know what I mean? I pray for the best outcome.
Yeah, of course.
And obviously it's been well for me. You know what
You
I mean?
prep yourself as far as you can, leave it in God's hands, and go out there and just do your best.
That's it. I
the way to do
accept
it.
whatever it is. You know what I mean? And I work my ass off to
sure you
make
do, man.
sure
It's-
I don't
it's-
get hit, and I put this guy out or whatever.
It's known, and I'm excited to see who they're going to have you up against. We'll be announcing that at 2 o'clock today for the press conference. And I'm just curious. I mean, I know we're a Philly-based company, but when did you discover Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship? You've been watching it? Like, is it new to you?
I've been watching it for a while, right? I don't know the year it started, but I've known David Feldman for quite some time. I fought with him before. Matter of fact, we had my first fight here.
That's how I remembered you. I remember, yeah.
2018 was my first fight. And it was an amateur MMA fight. It was under David Feldman. We were with Art of War at the time. And I think when he was with Art of War, I probably fought under him specifically for about at least 10 fights.
Wow.
And so I know David very well. He's a good friend of mine. And he actually reached out to me, and I was reaching out to him at the same time. And we just came to agreement that this is very, very good for my career.
Yeah.
I could definitely sell a lot of tickets, and
So, we both have known Dave I've known him for 20-some years as well, growing up around here and stuff. But we both know that Dave's not just going to put you on the show because you're on the show. This is
No,
Dave's
for sure.
Philly homecoming. Some promoters will do that. They will. You know
He knows
that.
I'm going to put on a good show.
Hell
I smash
yeah.
people.
And I know you are too. And I'm
Yeah.
excited to see more of it. I'm excited to see your opponent is.
I
And I'm
can't
excited
wait.
to meet your tailor and the guy that's making those shoes because they're wonderful, the ostrich. Johnny Garbarino, thank you for coming by today. We appreciate you, man. We're excited to see more at the press conference. Be on the lookout for this guy, not just because of the tail. Show him the shoes. Can we show him the shoes on the way out?
I'll try.
Can you? Here,
up on
how does
the
he show?
table.
Just put them up.
Right on the
Can we
table.
do this? Put them on the table.
Get the flexibility. There we
There you go.
go.
I got you. I'm not. Look at it. Beautiful ostrich.
Ostrich, baby.
Made in Italy. Look at this guy. There he is. He's got style and he's a badass. I love it. Hey, thanks for coming by, man. We appreciate you.
Thank
I
you
can't
so
wait to
much
watch
for the
your fight.
opportunity, David Feldman, yourself, guys behind the set.
Thanks for saying that.
I'd like to thank God for the opportunity and thank all my sponsors and fans. I really look forward to smashing this guy right behind my home, Wells Fargo. I'm going to walk right to the arena and walk back home like nothing happened.
That's awesome. I
Let's
love
go.
it, man. I
Chef
love
Garb cooking up knockouts.
it. Chef Garb's cooking them up. Hey, man. I love it. Thank you so much for coming on. The guy giving God his glory. We love that, too. He's dressed like it's a Sunday going to church, and he looks his best. I'm very jealous. I wear this windbreaker. I look terrible. We have more people coming up in just a couple minutes. I think we had Cody Russell on deck. I don't know. Is Cody ready? Is Cody Russell? Are you ready? Come on up, Cody. Look at this guy. Look at this dude. Come around here, Cody. I'm going to put you over huge. Let me stand up. You deserve it. I don't want to fight you. Just sit down. You got me nervous. I was stand up. I just stand up and shake your hand. Hey, look, you're going to hit me. First of all, put these on. Here.
Perfect.
There you go. Don't mess up that beautiful hair. I know. I got it too, man. Listen, you come up with a Phillies jacket on.
Absolutely.
You're a true Philly guy wearing your Philadelphia Phillies jacket. You lived in Philly your whole life?
No, I actually lived outside of Philly, but I started fighting about 11 years ago, and I represented Philly since day one.
We're outside of Philly.
Westchester, Pennsylvania.
That's still, you're Philly. I mean,
Yeah,
look,
it's right there.
Growing up around here, put this mic up a little closer. Here, move yourself up. I don't want to push you. Kind of push up to the mic so we can hear you. There you go. All right, so you grew up in the Dub C, Westchester.
Yes, sir.
Now, people don't know this out there, but if you grow up in the Philly area, where are you from? If you're from Delco, you claim Delco. You have to
Yep.
claim Delco.
Have to.
But if you're not, if you're like on vacation somewhere, you're from, I'm from Philly, right? You don't say,
Yeah,
I'm from
just-
Philly, right outside of Philly.
Everyone kind of categorizes into one.
But the thing is, we hang out in Philly, and we go to shows in Philly, and we do stuff in our other towns too. But I understand why we'd say that. Now I know why you're a big
It's mostly
Philadelphia
Philly.
Phillies fan.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Favorite player of all time of the Philadelphia Phillies?
Oof.
Just give me one. I love it's strange. Pete Incaviglia. You remember him? I loved
do.
Inky, dude. When I was
See,
a kid.
I'm gonna have to go recent. I would probably go Bryce Hall.
I get that.
Or Bryce Harper.
I get that.
Yeah.
It's just that '93 run where they didn't win.
Absolutely.
I think I was 12 years old. I was the perfect age for it. You know what I mean?
My favorite thing about him is under the spotlight, under the heat. It's a big game. He's always the person they rely on, and he comes through.
Yeah,
Comes through
100%.
every time.
You gonna come through when you fight here at Knuckle Mania 5?
Absolutely.
I know. I'm excited. Now we don't have your opponent's name yet. They're going to release that later on, 2 o'clock. Make sure you're tuned into the
Perfect.
press event, and it's going to be an event. A lot of stuff going on. But Cody, you're from Westchester. You've been fighting for how many years?
About 11.
11 years. And what have you fought? I know we just had Johnny on. He's a friend of yours. He was shouting you out.
Yeah, me and Johnny have trained together. My uncle was our striking coach since day one.
So did you do MMA, boxing? Did you do everything?
I did MMA for probably the first 9 years. Just recently, about a year and a half ago, I switched over to boxing. Fortunate enough, I was working with Eddie for his fight with Mike Perry.
Oh, you worked with Eddie?
I worked with Eddie.
See, I didn't realize that.
He brought me out to Utah with him for his fight with Mike Perry, and then kind of brought me onto the scene. But during that camp, we were training at a boxing gym.
Mm-hmm.
And Bob Kane was like, let's give it a shot, let's see how it goes. And he's been my coach ever since. And
Yeah, but
kinda-
to have Eddie, to train with him to start, to get your kind of entrance to bare knuckle, to dip your foot in, your toe in, that's not a bad thing at all, especially for such a huge fight. What did you learn? Was there anything you picked up training with Eddie about bare knuckle that maybe you wouldn't have if you weren't with Eddie, kind of thing?
Everything. I kind of saw the whole behind the scenes. I was in the locker room leading up to the fight. I was in the corner. So you just really get a close view of everything in the sport itself. You just see how violent it is, but you see a smart tactic of how to prepare for that fight.
I'm listening to what you're saying, and it's great, but I'm reading the chat because they comment live, and they're talking about Phillies players now, so I have to tell you, here in the chat, Little Ben is saying Lenny Dykstra. Lenny Dykstra, right, he was great. Right now, complete train wreck. He's still alive, barely. But he's looking for cocaine on X on Twitter. He's trying to. You ever seen this stuff?
No, I have not.
Oh, dude, he's got like no teeth anymore. Lenny's all whacked out now, man. He's crazy. Go look him up. I feel bad for Lenny. He's definitely, like, he tries to find people to party with on Twitter. It's crazy. Then we have, let's see, Ron Howard, Ron Eat fresh Howard Subway. Jordan's saying that's great. So now let's talk about why you did this. I mean, you sat with Eddie. You thought it might be a lane for you, but you're not going to take a fight unless you want to win. You can win it. Why do you think you're cut out for Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship?
If anyone that's seen me fight, whether it's MMA, in the past year and a half of boxing, had a few boxing fights. Anyone that's seen me fight since day one, it's been very violent. It's been very chaotic.
And Bare Knuckle fans love violent and chaotic. It's a hostile city, bro.
Human nature loves violence, and then it just takes a rare breed like us to put on the show for them.
Did you when you were growing up, is it fighting something you always wanted to be in, or you kind of fell into it?
I used to go down to a local baseball park, and we would have fights there.
Just to fight. Why play baseball? It's no fun.
Yeah,
just watch it. Don't
just a
play
little
it.
bit before the games.
You got to charge. Did you ever charge the mound and beat the shit out of somebody?
No, I can't say that I have. I was normally on the mounds.
Okay. So you would have beat the shit out of the batter coming at you.
Yep.
I love it. Yo, Cody Russell's here. He's going to be at the press conference coming up around 2 o'clock today for Knuckle Mania 5. It is the biggest fighting event in Philadelphia history. It's going to be huge. Our big homecoming, our debut here. We're excited to have you on the card. Can't wait to see what you're going to do. Is there anything you want to say for the first time you're meeting some of these Bare Knuckle fans? Anything you want to tell them about yourself before we let you go?
Canelo's taking on Bare Knuckle. Let's get it.
I love it. Hey, Cody, thank you so much for coming on, man. We appreciate
pleasure.
you. A fellow Phillies fan. I like that. Repping.
Pleasure.
We'll see you in a little bit at 2 o'clock in the press conference. There goes Cody Russell, man.
That's exactly what when he was standing there, I was like, that looks like Canelo, like his side profile. He looks just like Canelo.
You know what? I was going to make that reference, but I was like, do I say this? So he said it for me. Evan, I'm glad you pop in, Evan. Say neat things like that. Neat.
I will.
A word
well,
from
actually,
the
I
50s.
texted Brandon because he was standing there. I was like, I think Canelo's to my right. It was just like him.
Well, we have some more people. I'm going to try to fit Pat Brady on if he shows up. I know he's a local guy that I really like to talk to. He's going to be great. But while we're waiting, if Pat's not here, we can get.
We got Pat.
Where's? Oh, there's Pat. I didn't see over there.
He's yelling at you.
I'm sorry, Pat. I'm deaf and it's too bright. There he is, Pat Brady. This guy's going to be a big thing. Whoa! In Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Good to see you, Pat.
Can I drink this or?
Can he drink that? Yes. I
Yeah.
guess. Okay.
Tear it
Get
up.
yourself a sponsorship. There you go. Bucked up.
Get in frame. Let's see it. There it is.
Sit down and drink.
They'll mail you a check.
Yeah, right. Yo, Pat.
That's all I need. Some more caffeine.
Dude,
All right, let's turn this joint up.
Bro,
right?
bro.
A little quiet in here, you know?
Yeah, I know, Cap.
Let's
Well,
get
yeah,
this
now that
place
you're here,
going,
I know.
man.
This guy's going to
It's
set it
all
on fire.
like, where's the bars over there? I don't drink. I don't drink, but
Yeah, I know you
we
don't.
can.
Yeah,
We
put
can
them on.
act
Put
drunk
them
for
on.
a while.
You're so fun. Listen, I just want to thank you first because outside of fighting, we'll get to fighting in a minute. You gave me some great advice about you do home
Renovations, yeah. Renovations
and we
by
just
Brady.
spoke last week, and you're like, you got to check the vent that guy put in because we have an attic inspector coming, just so you know.
An addict inspector coming.
I don't know. My wife hired somebody. I don't know.
Jeez, he's gonna find problems because his job is to find problems.
That's what I told her.
So no matter what, he's gonna find something.
I said the same thing.
And then he's gonna
Upcharge
suggest
you.
a guy that, I know a guy. He's gonna fix it for.
Now I'm gonna say I know Pat Brady is gonna shut down right
Tell
away.
him I'll come by and punch him in his face.
I know you will. Pat Brady just loves punching people in the face. That's why I think the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship fans are going to love him. We don't know who you're fighting yet.
Yes, we do.
We don't because we're going to announce it at 2 o'clock on the press conference. You know, though. So if you want to talk about who you're fighting without saying their name, you can say what you feel about this person. Then when they announce it, they can kind of go back and watch the show.
He's very sharky.
Oh, jeez. That means he likes blood. You're in trouble if he likes blood, right?
Yeah.
Who likes blood more? You or him?
I assure you, there's going to be some blood in this fight.
Just some?
Undoubtedly, there's going to be blood. He is a fun, entertaining fighter that if you watched my post-fight press conference at the Mohegan Sun, I said I wanted this fight, right? I called for this fight months ago. He had fought since. He fought at Sturgis. And he won again. So I'm pretty sure he's on a 5-fight win streak, which is exactly where I want him. Super confident, ready to go, in his best shape possible. I want to fight the best version of.
Oh, he looks great.
Shark guy.
If it's who I think you're talking about, been looking great. Every time I see him, it looks like he's looking better as far as his weight, his conditioning. He looks like he's really
good
in it. So that's what you want. That's what you're going to get. Knuckle Mania 5.
I want an entertaining fight. Right? That's what I want. I don't want. Look, warm-up fights and gimme fights are fun for the person who's winning, right? But like at the end of the day, you know you're going to win when you're the better fighter, and we don't know what's going to happen in this fight, right? Like I know how I feel. I know the shape that I'm in. Right? I know what I'm capable of doing. But at the end of the day, right, like it's a fight, right? And especially with this opponent, he's super tough, super durable, right? Super durable, and he's going to come out fighting. Always does. It's always exciting. And, my last fight wasn't super exciting to watch per se, but, Rumsey got the brakes beaten off of him. And, I had fun.
You always have fun when you're fighting. And the thing is, I mean, we've seen you in the squared circle, but I'm here to tell you from being local, too, people talk about you, Pat. I mean, when I wear my bare knuckle stuff around the streets, sometimes when people stop me, more than I would expect, no disrespect, but we have fighters that have made their way more in BKFC.
Of course.
But they stop me locally and they'll say, Pat Brady. I train with Pat Brady. Pat Brady's an animal. Pat Brady. And I'm like, he is. And I do want to say this. When I shook your hand when you came up, shake my hand again.
Yeah, man.
You got these
these bear claws.
Look at these things.
Yeah, these are big hands.
Hold them like that so they can see. Now look, this is a normal person's hand. this is my hand compared to his hand. Now make a fist.
Yeah, man. Let's go.
That's insane, dude. So.
Yeah, so it's funny. The joke about my hands is I was out recently training in Albuquerque with John Jones, and he would call me Wreck-It Ralph because Wreck-It Ralph has those big-ass hands that he destroys everything with.
Bro.
And that was kind of my nickname there for a little bit out at Acoma Jackson's in Albuquerque.
If you're Wreck-It Ralph, I'm Fix-It Phil. I mean, I'm the complete opposite of you. But what did you, I mean, out there with John, I mean, that's a great person to be out there with to kind of not just learn from, but be amongst.
Yeah.
Was there anything you took from that camp? And does he know you're doing the bare knuckle stuff? What was his thoughts?
No, he's aware I'm doing the bare knuckle, right? Like, I mean, I was training specifically for some boxing while I was out there, right? Obviously, the entire reason why I was out there was to help him prepare for Stipe. And be a part of the camp and be of service to him. But while I was out there, obviously, I watched and learned, and specifically, more than anything, I learned how a real camp is run, right? Like a championship caliber camp.
Yeah.
And watching him conduct himself like a true champion and a true gentleman, and how he interacts with his fans and how he interacts with everybody. Like, everyone down from, going out to lunch, the waiter to, Dana White himself, like just how he handles people is like a champion. And I got to see how he runs his camp and how it's constructed and how everything is given its acclimated time, right? Like it's everything is scheduled and everything is accounted for.
Itinerary,
Yeah. And like his fight, the way that he plans for a fight, it's very detail oriented. And I took everything that I learned out there and I'm applying it to this camp. And
I love it.
And we are studying film and we are game planning and we know what's there and there's a lot of film out there on my opponent. So we know exactly what it is that we're preparing for. So and it's a war.
It is a war. It's going to be a war. You can't call it a battle. It's going to be a war. There's a big difference, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited about because now I'm picking up who you're fighting. I think they said it in the chat, too. I think they're figuring it out.
Yeah.
Again, 2 p.m. it'll be announced officially. But what I'm taking from you here is that some fighters, not all of them, I think the ones that don't make as much sense, they would go somewhere like that, and they have too much maybe ego or too much egotistical to say, oh, yeah, I learned some stuff from this guy. They're like, yeah, I went down there and taught him something. I love that you're a sponge, even at this juncture.
Look, I mean, John is a student, always a student, right? And it's not to say that he doesn't have anything to learn from me or didn't, but that wasn't why I was there. I was there to be of service, to help him, right? And that's what I went to do. And, I didn't want anything from him. I didn't expect anything from him. And it was purely to be of service and help him for Stipe. But while I was there, I got to learn some stuff.
Just to sponge it in, man.
Yeah, soaking it up. And
that's like Chris Lytle would tell me when it's different, but when he went to Japan and he'd go study at the dojo, and the stuff that he would just learn by being around it and see a different way of doing things and how valuable that kind of stuff is. It's the same thing in a different way. You're learning another way to do things, someone else who's been there, someone else who you respect. Like you said, just running a proper championship camp. I feel like that's going to help you level up, man.
Oh, yeah. And a lot of it was training specifically for your opponent, right? Like, who are you fighting?
Yep.
Like, you don't need to be doing things for an opponent that you're not fighting. Like, you don't need to be training and working on things and spending time on things that you're never going to do in that fight, right? So that's what we're doing now.
That's
like,
what
we're
you're doing
training
now.
Specifically for this fight.
For this fight, who may or not be a guy named the Shark, figure it out. He loves blood. I think you'll love the blood. So if you were speaking directly to the Shark right now, and you can save some for the press conference, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But what message would you want to give the fans or have him hear about this fight, what he should expect?
Yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. What does he expect from me? I think he knows what he expects from me. I think it's not a secret. Like, when you see me, like, what kind of person I am.
No, not at all.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, you look at that guy and you think that, like, he's lazy. No, right?
No.
Like, you look at me and you see, like, oh, that guy works his ass off, right? Like, I have calluses on my hands, and that's not just from fighting, right? Like, that's from working, like blue-collar work, right?
You own
like,
your own business. You're running
yeah.
a business. You have like 15,000 kids.
Yeah.
I don't know
One
how
of them's here right now, Colin, my man.
I met the one. How many kids total?
So I have 3 sons and a daughter on the way.
Bro,
Yeah, man.
3 sons.
She'll be here in 2 weeks. So, yeah.
So she'll be here for the fight. Well, she's not going to be at the fight.
She'll be born of Earth by the time the fight comes. But
So wait, hold on. Now you have these boys that you're raising.
Yeah.
And now you have a daughter that's on the way and a wife
Wife, yeah.
That's pregnant. So you're dealing with her ups and downs of the motions as you're going through a camp. You're trying to run a business.
Yeah.
You are successful. I shouldn't say trying to successfully run a business. You're working your ass off. All this, and then you get the emotion of your baby daughter, which you've never had. It's a whole different ballgame, bro.
Oh, yeah.
In a
We
good
were
way.
talking about
I know,
that,
it's
yeah.
a good thing.
Yeah.
She's going to be born. All this stuff at once.
Yeah.
Is that something that if you, not your daughter being born, I know you're extremely
Yeah.
happy, but if you could choose to have this fight without all this other stuff going on, would you choose that, or does that help like motivate?
no, look, God doesn't give you anything that you can't
True.
handle, right?
100%.
Like, I'm a believer, right? Like, in a higher power, and everything in my life today is happening exactly as it needs to. And I can handle it, bring it on, right? Like, what's meant to be is what's meant to be, and I'm not getting any younger, and I want this fight, right? Just like I said, back in Connecticut, and that's that. This is what we're doing. And daughter, no daughter, business, no business, it doesn't matter. I'm coming in that ring fully prepared.
I know you are, man.
Fully prepared.
I know.
Listen, I'm not going to get in a ring in front of 16,000 people unprepared.
No, hell no.
Like, that's silly. I would be doing myself a disservice.
Yeah,
I would
you'll
be
look
doing
silly. Exactly.
my family a disservice. I would be doing, like, I'd be putting myself in danger.
Here's the thing. I don't doubt that you're unprepared. I'm just saying that's a lot for a man to handle. I don't know how
Bring
you
it on.
compartmentalize
I love
it. I don't know how you compartmentalize
No, you just keep trucking, right? Like, I just keep going, next thing, right? And you just on to the next thing, and that's it.
So we have questions in the chat here for you. People seem to really like you. What's the one thing that most people don't know about you outside of fighting?
I mean, it's not a secret, like, and anybody who knows me knows it, but, like, I'm sober, right? Like, I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't do anything, right? And that came as a result of doing too much of that, right?
Oh,
yeah, right?
And you mind me asking what were you into?
Yeah, it was booze, right? Like, previous to 2016, that was kind of like what was calling the shots, right?
Yeah.
And, 2016, I made a choice. I got some help, right? I found God, and, I started
Congratulations.
making decisions that were the right ones, right? Like, with good intentions. Like,
Is that hard to do at first, though? It's got to be hard at first.
Well, what happens is I'm not capable of making good decisions. Other people help me
Around
make
you.
good decisions.
Of course.
Correct, right? So, like, at that point, it's like you kind of just have to put your faith in the people around you and, like, hey, look, what do you think about this? And then when they give you a suggestion, you actually have to take it, right?
Yeah.
And early on, you start to think that, like, right from wrong. But, like, all of the decisions you were making leading up to that had gotten you to where you are.
Yeah.
So,
So
like,
what
which
do
is
I
in a
know,
load
right?
of shit, right? So, like, you kind of have to say, like, all right, I've already proven that I can't make proper decisions. Why don't I let somebody else steer the car a little bit?
So wait a minute. What was your, if you don't mind me asking, this is very interesting.
No,
what
good.
was your rock bottom? What made you want to get sober?
Yeah, so there was a specific incident with my now ex-wife, right?
Okay.
Like where we were out all night drinking, and I didn't like put my hands on her or anything. If that's where
Okay,
this kind of looks like it's
understood.
going, but there was an incident, and she was really upset, and it kind of just it wasn't just that. It was a lot of things that led up to that, and then it was kind of like at that moment I was like, all right, enough was enough. And then that was February 1st, 2016.
Yeah, but you must have some good like you must have been raised right or had some good morals put you for you or
No.
something. There's got to be something good in that brain to go. Wait a minute, this isn't the right thing to do. What clicked? Why did that click?
Well,
you said
so
no.
no. Yeah, I mean, look, my childhood was rough, right?
Yeah.
Like I grew
We'll
up in
uncover that. We'll uncover that. We need more loaded time for that.
I grew up in Collingdale, and it was a rough
Collingdale.
upbringing, right? Like it was a tough town, and you know, my parents weren't together. I didn't know my real father until I
wow.
didn't meet him until I was 18. So I had a stepdad, and my stepdad was pretty abusive, right?
Wow.
And, yeah, it was a tough one, but it's all good. Look, everything happened. Everything's all good, right? Like, it was exactly what it needed to be for me to get to where I am today, which is like, I mean,
Wells
come
Fargo
on, man.
Center.
Exactly. Right?
You know what I
Like,
mean?
How can I be upset about anything that's happened in my past if I'm here now doing this?
Is it hard for you to not to take a drink if you're by yourself and you're looking at it? Or
No, it's been long enough.
Isn't that great? Isn't that a great feeling?
Yeah,
to
it doesn't
know that-
even appeal to me. Like,
Isn't that,
yeah.
isn't that, people don't get that. I have many friends that have gone through addictions and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I'd argue that maybe the competitiveness in what we're doing is almost like a new addiction for you.
Yeah,
Is that-
for sure, 100%. Yeah, so like I like to refer to it as the disease of more, right? Like just more, whatever it is. If I like it, I want more of it.
Dude, I had
right?
one of my best
that's
friends
what's
just passed
fighting.
away. It was the same thing. He
Yeah.
said he could never, the nicest car, the biggest TV when they came out. He always
Yeah.
had, when he was gambling, the most money, everything he did, eating. That's, you know,
Yeah.
everything. It was over the top. So you're that kind of guy.
No, oh yeah, for sure, absolutely.
But that's great in
Yeah.
fighting because that'll make you wreck somebody.
I mean, look,
You know?
absolutely, right? Like, as long as that can be calculated and directed and, you know, honed and understood, and you know what it is, and you can point it at a direction, you really, it becomes like one of your best attributes.
So interesting enough, because I was going to go here next. We're talking about your fighting and what you've been through, and your addiction and conquering that.
Yeah,
and all.
man.
And they're asking this in the chat as well. And this is where I was going. When you're going through that, and you're maybe a little bit, you don't even realize it. Maybe
30. I was 32 years old.
But
It was
were you angry?
2016. Yeah, of course. You're angry. You're resentful. You're blaming everybody else.
Because that's what they're asking here. And that's what I was going to ask. Have you ever fought with anger?
Previous
hatred?
to 2016, I fought a lot. Like I was a bouncer at a bar.
No,
so
I'm
I
saying
was always,
like go into a fight. I know you fought. Believe me, I know the legend of
Yeah.
Pat Brady, especially here. But have you ever gone to these fights? Some people want to go with a clear mind. Some people needs a chip on their shoulder. Have you ever gone to like angry or with hatred? to a
No,
fight? That's
no.
crazy.
No. It's not necessary
Cloud
for
you?
me, right? No, it's for me. Like there's a serene acceptance as to what's transpiring, right? Like what's going on. I put the work in. The amount of work I put in isn't going to change at that moment, previous to a fight.
Understood.
Right? And I had a good friend say this to me before a fight one day. It was actually here, upstairs, right up those stairs. I was fighting here
At this arena,
2300
yeah, they don't know.
Right?
I want to tell people locally because
Yeah.
only local people know. This arena is they house boxing, MMA.
Yeah.
They used to host ECW wrestling back in the day. It's a haven for stuff. So you were fighting here.
I
now
was
you're in the
fighting
Knuckle Mania
here,
5
right?
press conference.
Yeah.
And what did your friend tell you?
So he said to me, God's already decided if you won or lost. Right? Like, it's already done. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So,
right.
like, what am I, like, there's no reason to get upset. You already put the work in, right? That's not going to change. You can't change how prepared you are. What is getting worried or anxious or upset or nervous or I don't get any of that shit. I just want to fight, right? Like, I just want to go out there and fight and go through all of the techniques and the things that I've learned and experience everything that goes with the chaos inside a ring.
Yeah, I love it.
And that's what I want to get to. And it's not like I'm nervous or scared or angry or any of that.
You just want to hone. You just want to go out there and show your craft off that you.
I want to go out there and experience what it is to be in a ring, right? Like that serotonin, all of that adrenaline, everything that goes with that.
Dude, I can't imagine you.
Yeah.
I didn't see you after the last fight, but how you are now, if you got the adrenaline pumping, oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, look, I was, screaming to let's go,
I
right?
know.
Like I was trying to pump up the crowd and get everybody
You
going.
were.
And Listen, Wells Fargo is going to be rowdy.
It's gonna come unglued.
It's going to be rowdy.
Philly lets you know how they feel. We've always
Like,
said
I'm
that.
getting so, like, my phone hasn't stopped ringing, text messages. There's so much interest around this. Like, to me, it's going to be the biggest event, like, in 2025, no doubt. But, like,
We're saying
I mean,
the biggest
in
fighting event in Philly history. Like, there hasn't been something, because we're new,
When?
we're hot right now. What
Yeah.
has been bigger than this? I really believe that.
Look, it's not a secret that there hasn't been many combat sports in the Philadelphia area.
Which is insane to me with the kind of people we are here.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
But
Like-
there was reasons for that, and,
Yeah, yeah.
and those reasons have changed now,
and
right?
thank
Like,
God they have.
Yeah, so we're in a position
Very
now
politically correct.
where Philadelphia, as a city, is going to be brought back into the fight world.
I can't wait.
Right, like, because we had the fighters, but we were kind of not involved, right? It was always Vegas,
Yep.
Salt Lake,
Yep.
the norms, and now look, Philly's here, baby, and we're going to start.
And all these fighters in Philly, they want to show up. They want to
Yeah,
show
man.
off the surrounding areas. I know
Yeah.
you're going to do it too. We're going to talk to you again, I'm sure, before Knuckle
Yeah, for
Mania
sure.
5. I'm going to let you go get ready for the presser.
Awesome.
Starting at 2 o'clock. Pat,
I'm
thank you
bringing
for
this
coming.
with me.
Everyone steals our drinks. Thank you, Pat. Look at it. Look, one more time. Look at that hand. Look at those mitts.
Let's
My
go.
gosh, it'd be a crime to cover those things, not hit somebody bare knuckle. I'm excited to see Pat Brady. I'm excited to see everybody on this card, Knuckle Mania 5. Again, we're calling it the biggest fighting event in Philadelphia history. We can't wait for that. Before I'm getting yelled at. We're live. I'm sorry. I can't hear what you're saying. Yell it at me.
We got Jeremy Stevens up next.
Oh, Jeremy's here.
He's right behind you.
I didn't even. Oh no.
He's coming right now.
There he is. What's up, Jeremy? I'm sorry, I didn't see you over there. Thanks for coming, man. How are you?
We're awesome.
Good. Here, pop up your headphones. He's got his shades up. I like those shades. What kind of shades are they? Oakley's?
Yeah, those are like
Are they
the
Oakleys or
WWF, the polarized Oakleys. Try those on, Playboy.
I can try them on. Oh,
Yeah,
geez.
Yeah, just leave them on for the whole interview.
I don't know, man. Hold on. Let me try these. I don't want to break them. They're probably super expensive. I buy the ones off the guy on the street.
They're not that bad, bro.
They actually don't look bad on me. I
yeah,
look
yeah.
dumb in sunglasses a lot.
Blue collar
Jeremy, you can pull that
affordable.
mic down.
What'd you say?
Pull that mic down.
Is that Phil?
Oh, his
Is that-
mic? My
sounds
mic?
like-
Whose mic?
yeah.
His mic.
Jeremy's mic. Yeah.
Pull it
Oh,
down.
right. Oh,
See, I
yeah.
got you.
There we go.
Some tall person.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, let me take these off before I break them. I want to be able to look you in the eye. There you go.
My man.
I'm happy you're here, man. Jeremy, Lil Heathen Stevens. The one thing I want to say about you is immediately after you have fought for us, I saw you on your last fight, undefeated here, 2-0 BKFC. You blew my mind because you can talk, and you're very charismatic and I don't want to say braggadocious, but you are not. Yeah, you're not afraid to let your feelings be heard. And now here you are fighting Eddie Alvarez in Philadelphia, Wells Fargo Center, gigantic fight. Everyone's. I mean, you probably just got to town. I don't know if you know this. Everyone in Philly's talking about it. Everyone's excited. But I'm going to be honest with you. You know what's going to happen. This is Philly. We just talked about this for Pat. They let you know how they feel. I'm telling you, if you don't already know, they are going to hate you. Even if they like you, they're going to hate you because you're going against a god from Philly, Eddie Alvarez. How do you respond to it? Do you even care if the fans like you or don't like you?
I really like it here in Philly, but the fans ain't fighting for them. And the Philly fans, their sports teams, they blow it. All they do is blow it. So, I mean, they can rave for me, boo, whatever. All you guys do is blow it. My opponent blew it when he fought McGregor. Red panty night, swinging for the air, he blew it. Phillies blow it. These are teams I like. We got Andy Reid. I'm a big Kansas City Chiefs fan. Andy Reid was the best thing to ever come out of here. But you guys blow it. And I don't, January 25th, it's going to be my night. And I'm coming here to really just embrace that and just piss everybody the fuck off, throwing beer at me. Boo, fuck you, get the fuck out of here.
So you said you've only been here for like a day and you already sound like us. That's great.
Yeah, I love it, bro. I love it. I absolutely love every fucking minute of it.
So you do love every minute of it, but where did you come from to get here to Philadelphia?
Well, if you throw a dart in the middle of the United States, it'll land on the bullseye, the 515, Des Moines, Iowa, and I'm the heart that pumps this nation. And that's where I'm from. I've been 17 years out in San Diego training, chasing dreams, and enjoying a journey.
That's the thing, though. I knew that's where you're from. I know you've been in San Diego. So you're out here, and I know what you were doing before this. They got you running around the city getting promo shots. You were by the Rocky statue. I think we posted it on Instagram. You and Eddie are facing off. It's cold as hell here today. Do you remember what it's like to be that cold?
Yeah, I got my long johns on.
He's got his long john. Actually, I don't need it. You know what? Let's. Whoa. Jeez, I almost fell off. You got long. I'm gonna show what I got on. Hold on, you're not gonna believe this. I didn't think I'd take my pants off today's interview. Watch this. Look what I got on. You want to see?
Oh, easy.
Don't say yeah. Where's it at? I got my bare knuckle boxer shorts on. See that?
There he
go.
is.
There you go.
Ain't the long johns
No,
though.
not long johns.
The lens can't zoom in enough.
Yeah, get the zoom lens. Hey man, now I can say, Jeremy, that in an interview with you, I took my pants down and you took their. It's very strange.
Yeah.
Philly's gonna.
I just backed my ass up on you, threw you back there.
I fell off the stage. It was that insane. The derriere. He loves when I say derriere. He's laughing. All right, so. You don't care what the Philly fans think about you, but you're a guy that likes to have a lot of fun. I think, like you said, you're going to embrace this beer being thrown at you, them booing you. It's going to be loud in there. What made you take this fight? First of all, when you signed with BKFC, we've seen you do amazing things so far. Was this a fight you even thought about or had on your radar?
Yeah, my very first fight, I fought Jimmy Rivera. Me and the opponent stepped into the octagon or the squared circle earlier that night just to do a little shadow spar and move around. I felt what I felt then and there, saw what I saw, and later that night I actually sat back, watched Mike Perry cave his face in, and just the entertainment of BKFC. I got to see everything from like just sitting like I was and watching it and seeing like the fans and everybody was excited, a jam-packed crowd. It captured my eyes, and I watched both them guys, and I was like, damn, I could be fighting one of these guys, if not both of them, for a really big bag. And then, fast forward 2 years later, a year later, boom, here we are. And
yeah, man.
Wild ride, right?
When the fight got announced, the fans were going crazy. I'm sure you read about it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is a great fight. Eddie, hometown guy, you being you, and I just knew it was going to be fireworks. I'm excited for Knuckle Media 5 press conference. That's coming up in a couple minutes around 2 o'clock. We're going to go to that live in a little bit. With you and Eddie today, when you guys are out doing the photos, was there a moment when you guys are facing off, and I know you're doing it for publicity at this point. As it gets closer to the fight, it might feel different. I don't know. But was there a moment when you're with Eddie that you saw, like when you were facing off, and what did you gather looking into his eyes?
Yeah, I felt what I felt. You know, that's my business. I'm going to keep my energy and just I saw what I saw. And there's one thing about me is I'm very certain in my approach and everything I'm feeling. Like, look at his eyes, look down there, bro. A little clench in his eyes. You know, he's looking kind of soft too, pudgy. Can't even make a professional weight at 155 pounds. So, you know, I've already got the data that I need. I got tons of tape, tons of whatever. I know what I need to do, and I'm gonna go in there and prove January 25th what I already know is I'm the baddest motherfucker in bare knuckle and the baddest combat sports athlete today. Everybody's talking about it's gonna be a good fight. Good. I fucking love it because I'm gonna make it fucking look easy.
Why did you come here, though? You make it look easy. Why did you come to bare knuckle? What was the reasoning for you?
Yeah, well, I mean, why I come to Philly, man, I was born like this, bro. When I had to grow up in a shelter, move out, my mom's garbage bag of clothes, move into different schools, when I had to wrestle off people that were already like hometown kids, and they were all cheering for him and nothing for me. Had to earn my baseball spot, played a little bit of basketball. They're cheering for the other guys. I mean, I dealt with this like elementary, middle school, high school. I've always been that dude. You know, and with this tons of experience, tons of resilience and patience and just trusting in God's timing, bro. I'm here and I'm built a little bit different in bare knuckle, and I'm gonna do big business here, and I'm gonna go show January 25th what I already know, and what the world's gonna find out is I'm the baddest motherfucker in bare knuckle right now today.
Wow, we're looking forward to that. Before we get you out of here in the chat, they're asking all kinds of questions. This guy wants me to ask you the same question I just asked Pat. It's a good question. He said, "What's one thing that people don't know about you outside of fighting?" Like, are you a stamp collector?
Yeah. You know, actually, it's weird. I don't know why I'm going to share this, but I pray to my ancestors. You know, when like my grandma just passed away, like I remember just crying and I was running. And it wasn't because I was sad. It was because I embraced every moment. I really enjoyed her time and the life that she put on here. And I know she's up in heaven. I know they're all around, like during Thanksgiving. I pray to my ancestors. Awesome. And sometimes I may cry over it, but I'm praying of passion, purpose, and dedicating my life to live the best each and every fucking day. And that's what I do, and that's where that comes from.
I'm glad you told me. That's super cool, man. I think that's awesome. Running and crying. Look, you're overtaken by emotion by somebody who made an impact on your life. I get it. And like you said, it sounds like there was nothing left unsaid. You got the most out of that relationship. I'm sorry to hear about your grandma. That's very hard, but I know
it's all going to happen to all of us, bro. I'm not sorry. She's very, very much here right now, and she made a huge impact, bro. So she's around.
Oh, good. Well, she'll be very happy to see you.
It's like Coco. You got to remember those people, bro. When I pass on, my name's ever going to be etched in history.
The Disney movie or whatever.
Yeah.
My kid watches. I love that movie. Yeah,
Great movie.
It's a great movie. Check out Coco. I never that's what I mean, the ancestors thing was cool, but I love that you watch Coco.
Yeah, it kind of resembles that in a sense.
That's
the
cool.
story.
Watch Coco. You'll see what he means. Jeremy, I'm proud to have you on here. I can't wait to see you take the stage. Knuckle Mania 5 press conference around 2 o'clock. You're taking on Eddie Alvarez, our hometown boy. We're looking forward to see what happens. Thanks for coming on, man.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you,
Enjoy
man.
the show.
Take those shades or I'm going to steal them. All right, we're back at it again. We have so much happening here. It's been like a revolving door with guests. I'm not sure we have these lights are so bright. We have anybody
Final
else?
guest.
Do we have Eddie? Who do we have?
Eddie Alvarez.
Where's he at? Where's Eddie? I can't see.
I'll call him up. He's to your left.
To my left. The guy with the most perfect beard here, I guarantee it. Where's he at? Eddie where's he at?
He's in the Eagles shirt over
I can't see on my glass. Eddie. Yo, Eddie. I got to do
There
the
you
Philly
go.
call. Yo, cuz. Eddie. Yo, Eddie. Hold on. I got to stand up for you, buddy. How are you?
How you doing?
Look, you're the This is why I love Philadelphia. We're here in Philadelphia, 2300 Arena. We got Eddie Alvarez. Throw your headphones on there, bud. And, I just buddied him. I buddied him, Evan. I'm sorry.
Some people like that.
I'm sorry. He gets mad at me, Evan. 'Cause sometimes I say buddy or pal or brother.
Yeah?
And I just buddied him.
Brother
He said-
doesn't bother me.
He told me
Wait,
buddy was
you go,
disrespectful. Is that
buddy.
disrespectful?
Buddy, yeah, dad or
I'm
like
sorry,
chief.
dude. I
Don't
didn't
call
mean
me
to-
fucking
Thank
chief.
you,
dude.
Eddie.
Shut
Thank
up,
you,
Evan.
Eddie.
Shut up, Evan. I think I called you Bud. That might be worse. I'm so used to be around my kids. You're a family man, too. I'm sure you understand that. So I don't know if you heard me, but I said you're the man with the most perfect beard here. I guarantee it. It always looks edged up and nice. But what I love about Philadelphia is that you're from here. You show up wearing an Eagles shirt.
Yep.
I think it was Cody was on earlier, had his Phillies jacket on. So great run for the Eagles right now, man. You pretty hyped about that?
Yeah, like we got you. If you're from Philadelphia, you got to go for who's Philadelphia. You know what I mean? Even myself with the local fighters here, I just want to see Philly win. It's us against the world, and come January 25th, it's going to be us against the world again.
Well, I'm laughing because you got the Eagles shirt on, and they're doing really well. And he's right before you heard me shitting on Philadelphia teams, saying that they all lose, they're losers, and they'll be more of the same on January 25th. But they're like they're doing really well.
It's silly. I think it's out of character. It's a little. I just smell fear a little bit. I don't know.
Well, he said he smelled. He didn't say it, but we were watching. You just did the face-offs.
Yeah.
We saw you doing the media. First of all, it's cold as hell out. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
It was cool up by the Rocky face-off, but we were watching some of them, and he said he was going to keep to himself what he saw when he looked in your eyes. But what he remarked was that you looked down during the face-off, and he thinks that's you don't believe in yourself kind of thing.
Yeah, no, there was nothing to look at. You had sunglasses on, which was silly. We don't do that here. We don't wear mohawks and sunglasses in Philadelphia. It's not our thing. What's up, Dave?
So, do you enjoy the process? I mean, going through outside in the cold, doing the face-offs, in the gym, like leading up to a fight, or you just want to get in there and fight kind of thing?
No. I love the whole process. Over 20 years, I learned that you have to have gratitude for the entire thing, because like if you were bitter about these things, it's a very simple solution. Just lose, and you'll never have to do them again. Like if you just lose, no one will ever want you on their show, want you to do their podcast or anything like that. So. I learned that a while ago, to have gratitude for even something as simple as this, or just getting out there and people wanting me to compete. So, yeah, I love the process.
The thing that I always get from you, just mentioned gratitude. You're a family man. I said the first time I ever interviewed you, I was done. I was like, I love this guy. I'll screw fighting for a minute. As a family man and a man, this is a good guy.
Yeah.
Is that probably the most valuable lesson you think you can teach your children, the gratitude kind of thing and hard work? Is that, like, what do you try to instill in them?
Absolutely. I think becoming a champion is a byproduct of being a good man. I don't think it's the opposite. I don't think you become a champion. There's a lot who you need to become in order to be a champion. That's the whole guts of the thing. That's the engine. That's the important parts of it. So, being a champion was something I obsessed about. I kind of spent my life trying to do, but I knew that it would be a byproduct of who I became. Like just become a good man, someone who's accountable, responsible, delays gratification, and have these good, strong ideals. And then the byproduct of that would be I would end up becoming a champion because of that, not the opposite.
That's a great way of looking at it, man. It's a great thing to teach your kids. What about as far as the last time you fought in your hometown, your home city of Philadelphia? How long ago was that? I think it was Leah Center, right?
Leah about 14 years ago, I fought Roger Huerta. And I was getting a lot of slack because I didn't go to the UFC. And people wanted to know, could he ever make it in the UFC or fight guys from the UFC? What caliber is he? And then I got to get my hands on the first, guy from the UFC in Roger Huerta, and banged him up pretty good. Stopped him in the second round at the Liacourse of a sold-out Liacourse.
I was going to say that because that was your sellout, but that's what I was leading to, man. Like, now you level up 14 years later.
Yeah.
Wells Fargo Center going to be sold out. That's got to feel really cool being a Philly guy, biggest arena in Philly, and you're a big reason for that, selling these tickets, this sellout.
It's become full circle because when I was 19 years old, before I was 19 years old, I was getting in street fights here in Philadelphia with no gloves on.
I know.
When I was 19, I decided to put gloves on my hands and pursue a career in fighting. Now we come back 20 plus years. I'm back in Philadelphia with no gloves on. So
cool.
It's full circle, man. I'm excited about it.
Do you feel, and I ask this very respectfully, Eddie, you're a legend. You've been around for years. You've had your fights in the streets. You've had your fights in the arenas. We've watched you. Is this a time, not that you're done yet, but is it a time to look at and go, well, I've had an amazing career.
Yeah.
Wells Fargo Center's going to be rocking and sold out. They're all going to be going nuts for me. Is this maybe you start to think this might be the last one for me kind of thing? Has that entered your mind at all?
That's been in my mind for 5 years plus now. Like it's not.
Just can't quit.
Like retirement is not something that's like this elephant in the room. I've been thinking about this and burying myself for years, but it's a slow process. It's not something you do cold turkey overnight. I want to be able to do this on my own accord. I want to be able to do this the right way, and it's a slow process for me. And I look at retirement, it feels like quitting to me.
Yeah,
I'm not a quitter.
I feel like a guy like you couldn't retire. I don't know. You have a gym going on now, though, right? That's going well.
Yeah. So we just opened up our a performance institute.
Yeah.
So it's even bigger than a gym.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's heavier.
Yeah. It's a 20,000 square foot performance institute in Newtown, Pennsylvania.
I just saw an ad about it. So it's working on social media. I saw an ad today.
Yeah. We have a grand opening this Saturday for everyone to come. It's between 9 o'clock and 4 o'clock, and we're even going to showcase a lot of the bare knuckle fighters. We're going to do an open workout to be able to showcase a lot of the fighters that are going to be on the card.
Is there a chance that this could have a bare knuckle program at your gym? I know we're trying to get them around. Do you think that could work?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The Dave already got it done. We got a full-size cage in there, and we're going to be doing that. We're going to be teaching.
BKFC ring?
We got
you got an actual BKFC ring. He's giving you
ring inside.
Oh, you got a BKFC ring. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
As of last night, our BKFC ring is inside our Performance Institute. So we have a full-size cage for anybody going for MMA at the elite level. We have a full-size bare knuckle ring for anybody trying to do bare knuckle at the elite level. And then we have like 5,000 square foot of mat space and a whole lot of other things. But
the main thing you're not saying, you can come train and learn from a guy like you. You're going to be there. Like, that's amazing. And thank you, by the way, because that's going to help elevate bare knuckle with you getting more involvement in that and starting that. We're going to see all kinds of styles start to evolve. We've been seeing it. That's the best thing I heard all day. Good. I'm glad for that.
That was the birth of MMA when everybody started doing schools and started doing that. So, like, I want to be able to be a pioneer of that for bare knuckle.
You're a pioneer for a couple of different reasons, I would say, with bare knuckle, and we appreciate all that you're giving to it. But what's the temperature in the Philly area here? I mean, it's not cold. I mean, when you're out in the streets, when you're training, everyone seems to me, I'm seeing billboards, I'm hearing radio ads, everyone's talking about this fight.
Yeah.
A lot of people come, Eddie, you're getting back in, they're really excited, right?
Yeah, it's warming up. I'll tell you that because I think the first day of pre-sale, we had 6,000 plus tickets sold, or some kind of crazy amount on the very first day of pre-sale. And I think we may have doubled that already. So we're looking. My ultimate goal is the number one, beat my opponent on Saturday night, January 25th. But number two, do it in front of a sold-out Wells Fargo, the largest combat sports arena.
It's an arena because that's why we're calling it the biggest fighting event to ever hit Philadelphia, and you're the gigantic part of that. It's going to be awesome. Before I let you go, because I'm in Delco. Yeah. I'm not here, but I'm not even fighting on the card, and I'm getting this, and it drives me nuts. Do you get everybody and their brother saying, "Hey, Eddie, let me get a ticket"?
Tickets.
They don't want to pay. They want to comp. Let me get a ticket. Or they hit you with, they don't even ask for the, "Hey, Eddie, I bet you could get me good tickets," which they're asking for free, but they're not. And I'm like, well, they start at $35. Do you get that all the time, too?
The day they went on pre-sale, me and my wife's phone were off the hook with questions about tickets. I'm like, oh, I'm not Ticketmaster. I'm the fighter. If you want to learn some fighting, come to me, talk to me. But I'm not a ticket guy.
That drives me nuts. They just ask you for comps. Like, it's like if I opened a McDonald's, they come in with free cheeseburgers. Before we get you out of here, I want to get first of all, I want to know this, because I have wondered this about you. Did you ever move out of the Philly area, or you just love it here? Like, did you ever leave and come back, kind of thing?
Oh yeah. So earlier in my career, maybe I want to say like a decade ago or so, Philadelphia didn't have full-time fighters. Very difficult to do fighting full-time because there was no team or anything doing that. So I had to leave. I went to Florida and trained with the Black Zayans.
Thought so.
Me and my wife and children all moved to Florida together and did that thing for about 3 years. And then we came back home to Pennsylvania and settled in Bucks County. So I'm
Good to
right
have you
outside.
back.
I'm right outside the Philly area and still train with the guys in Philly. Still talk to the guys in Philly and kind of support them. The guys like Sean Brady, Joey Pfeiffer, and all these guys who are up and coming, going to be champions soon themselves. And just proud to be where I'm from. The city always had my back, and I think January 25th, I got to give them a treat.
No, I think you're going to give him a treat. So look, as you can see, we're going to start the press conference in probably about a half an hour. So the last question for you is, you're fighting Lil Heathen. You're fighting Jeremy Stevens.
Yeah.
He said that he's looking forward to the fight. I know you are too, but why? Why take this fight, and just kind of your thoughts on Jeremy?
Initially it wasn't Jeremy on our radar, but this he's fought the who's who. He's fought everyone, and he's never backed down. He's a tough opponent, and he's never been a guy to take a step backwards. And like when I think about my career and I think about fights that happen, these are the kind of fights that people they're the standing applause at the end of it. He's a hard guy to put away, and he'll stay in there to the death. So like, I'm really looking forward to this opponent. I think we match up really well, and I think at the end of the day, the fans win.
I think so too.
I think any time in Philadelphia, I don't care who it is, it's nothing personal against Jeremy or anybody, but whoever steps out in front of me January 25th at Wells Fargo is going to be in big trouble.
Bro, I literally just said to him before you came up here, I know you were making your way in, I said, you do understand that even if people like you here, they're going to hate you.
Yeah.
You're going to get beer thrown at you. You're done. And he's like, I F them. They're terrible.
Yeah.
So he's ready for it. I know you're ready for it too. I know you're going to get ready for the Knucklemania 5 press conference. Eddie, thanks for taking the time.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate
Thank you, brother.
man. Thank you. There he goes, Eddie Alvarez, Underground King with us, man. That's so cool. We're going to start the press conference for Knucklemania 5 right around 2 o'clock. I think we're going to get ready to shut this down so they can get ready for the press conference. I see Brandon sweating back there. He wants to... Yeah, you are. You're giving me the rap symbol. I got to get ready for the press conference.
No.
You're always complaining about something.
Good.
Evan, can you smack it? Do something to him.
I would never hit
Oh,
Brandon.
you all off camera, you do.
Yeah.
All right, well, look. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll be back right around 2 o'clock. Make sure you're tuned in. You can watch the Knucklemania 5 press conference. We saw Taylor Starling. We learned that she's fighting on Knucklemania 5. We're not sure who she's fighting against. We're going to find that out. Pat Brady kind of announced it. We'll find out who he's fighting against. And there's a lot of other things going to happen today. Make sure you're tuned in to the Knucklemania 5 press conference. It is the biggest fighting event to ever hit Philadelphia. It's live from the ECW Arena. Knuckle up, we'll get bucked up, and let's go for this press conference. Just a couple minutes away, about a half an hour.